Okay, I'd like to welcome you guys to our presentation today of Donovan's daughters. And hopefully it's not too long. It should be funny, so feel free to laugh. The main part of the story is Donovan, Seamus Donovan, moves to America because he has 5 daughters, and or 4 daughters, and one of them is just not very nice. And he's trying to get somebody to marry her so that the other daughters can get married, but she's just not that nice of a person. And so I hope you enjoy the afternoon, and we're going to go ahead and get started. You can hit the lights. Thank you, guys.
Abigail, by heavens, woman, where is me banner?
It's hanging right behind you, foolish man.
I told that boy to hang it outside.
Well, I told him to hang it inside. It's raining again. All the writing would wash away.
And how is to anyone know we're open for business?
They'll read it in the paper, Seamus. I asked that nice young newspaperman, Clive Giles, to run an advertisement.
And how much is that to cost me, woman?
It'll be well worth it if the ad brings in a few boarders, my penny-pinching husband.
And well it is I am. What with 5 offspring to care for, and none seem to be of any marrying mind.
Many are of a marrying mind if it weren't for your silly traditions, keeping them from it.
Don't mock me, family traditions. You knew well before you married me that the Donovans are a proud and traditional clan.
And half lunatics. Remember your Uncle Timothy?
Many folks have seen the little people, not just me Uncle Tim.
Funny he only saw them late at night, walking home from the pub.
At least he has respect for tradition, unlike you.
Seamus, don't start that again. It's sheer nonsense.
Oh, is it now? And tell me, what became of me family business?
Ah, the Donovan Fishing Company.
We ain't just fishermen.
I know. You're the best fisherman in all of Ireland with a fine fleet of boats to prove it.
That's right. And we've never lost one man or one boat to the sea in all my years as fishermen. And do you know why?
Here we go again.
Because no woman has ever set foot upon a Donovan boat. That's why. It's tradition and it served us well.
Seamus, you're impossible.
A stubborn man I am, but when I first laid my eyes upon you, I was bound to marry you, even if me own father warned me against American women.
Oh, really?
No respect for tradition. And it's for that exact reason that we're in this most uncivilized town where I can't even get me banner hung where I want it. Patrick!
Yes, Mr. Donovan.
Hang that banner outside.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you, Seamus, the writing will wash away and you'll not draw a single fisherman to lodge here.
Why would you be one fisherman to stay here, Miss Donovan?
Oh, to me it makes no difference. It's all a part of Mr. Donovan's plan.
Don't be mocking me. You've done enough harm already.
Oh, this is silly, Seamus. Do what you like with the banner. Just let me know when the children arrive.
Women, what was the good Lord think when he created them?
What is it Miss Donovan has done, sir?
Oh, I'll tell you. Me, Abby, is so stubborn. Did you know I told her right off that I'd be wanting sons? But when the time came, our firstborn child was a girl.
No.
Yes, the community was in an uproar. There hadn't been a Donovan born there hadn't been a woman born to the Donovan clan since 1756.
1756?
Me great Aunt Catherine, in fact, named me own daughter after her. 'Twas great Aunt Katie who started her own Donovan tradition.
What was that?
Donovan women being few and far between made the men a bit weary of them anyway, but Katie had a particularly foul disposition. They called her Wildcat, and she'd soon spit in your eyes, look at ye.
Mean? Huh.
Oh, mean don't begin to describe her, lad. She was a hellion. A beauty, though. Many men came a-courting, but her bad temper eventually drove them all away. That's when the men of County Kerry, being somewhat superstitious, decided that Donovan women are cursed and should be avoided at all costs. Naturally, Aunt Katie never married.
That's too bad.
Too bad. It was nearly a disaster. We lost an entire branch of Donovan clan because of it.
What do you mean?
Katie being the oldest child, she never wed, so none of her 8 brothers were ever able to.
Why not?
Tradition, me boy. The oldest child must marry before any of their siblings are ever able to.
That's a dumb tradition.
Hey, that's me family you're talking about. In fact, I'll have you know it's a tradition that we still uphold today. That's why I had to leave me native land.
To come to Seattle?
Not at first. 15 years ago, I asked me cousin Liam to mend me boats for a while. And then we moved out here to Boston.
Oh, I get it. Your only chance of marrying off your Katie was to move to America.
That's right. But it goes much farther than that.
What do you mean?
Me wife is so stubborn. Did you know she gave me 5 daughters and not a single son?
Wow.
I knew because of that blasted curse that there would not be a husband found among the men of Ireland.
So you moved to Boston.
That's right. A seaport where me daughters can hook themselves fishermen to bring back to Ireland and mend me boats.
That sounds like a good plan.
That's what I thought, but it didn't turn out too well.
No marriage proposals, eh?
Oh, marriage proposals came every day for Maeve, Bridget, and Mariah. Even me babe Elena, and she's only 17. She's been asked for twice, but none came for Katie. And since she's the oldest, I can give none of the others away until she's spoken for.
Is she homely?
Bite your tongue, lad. A more beautiful girl you've never seen in your life. A handful she is, though. Too much for any American or Irish man to tame. Seems she inherited more from her great-great-aunt Catherine than just a name.
Wow.
I knew, because of that curse, that no one would be able to be found. Now, you just hang that banner outside.
Yes, sir.
Ah, Mr. Donovan. Nice to meet you. I'm Asa Mercer, president of the university and mayor of Seattle.
There's a university here.
Yes, a small one, but it's growing. And may I introduce Judd Terwilliger, the owner of the First Bank of Seattle?
Top of the morning.
And Clive Giles, the editor of our newspaper, The Times.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I'd like to thank you for advertising with us.
Englishman, eh?
American now, sir.
Well, Seamus.
Please, call me Seamus.
Me and these gentlemen would like to welcome you to our town and hope that you'd be very happy here.
I'm sure me daughters will be very happy here, though they long to return to Ireland.
Daughters? As in more than one?
Oh yes, I am blessed with 5 beautiful young girls.
5?
This is wonderful news. You may not know this, Seamus, but women are rather scarce in Seattle.
You don't say.
These wouldn't be little girls, would they?
Oh no, all of them are nearly grown, though me eldest Katie's the only one of any marrying age. But the others don't fall too far behind.
Well, would it be possible to meet these daughters?
We'd love to welcome them to our camp before anyone else finds out they're
I'm
here.
afraid they won't be arriving until later today.
Well, then I suppose we should get down to business. Me and these men make up the city council, and we've been conducting most of our business in the jailhouse, seeing as how we don't have a town hall anymore.
It burnt down.
We're building a new one.
We
It
had
should
a-
be finished by spring.
We had an arrangement with the previous owner that for a small monthly retainer, we could, when necessary, use the parlor and have a room for meetings and dignitaries of the like.
Well, I don't know.
We'll pay you $10 a month.
Deal.
Great, we'll be meeting in the parlor tomorrow morning.
We're meeting with representatives from the local Indian tribes.
They've been at war with each other.
Not to mention attacking us from time to time.
Our federal marshal, Danny O'Brien, has been negotiating a peaceful settlement with them.
No one told me nothing about any Indians attacking.
It's been several years since they last burned our city to the ground.
You have our assurance, Seamus. Everybody is perfectly safe.
We won't let any harm come to your daughter, sir.
The marshal will be here himself to make certain of it.
You see that he does. Now, if you excuse me, gentlemen, I have some work to do.
Fellas, we struck it rich. 5 daughters.
One for each of us and 2 to spare.
But only Katie is of marrying age.
Then I'll take Katie and you 2 can wait for the others to grow up.
What makes you think she'll want you when I'm available?
Gentlemen, be reasonable. There are 10 men to every woman in Seattle. That means your chances of getting any of the Donovan daughters are 10 to 1.
Yes, Professor, but we have a definite advantage. No one else knows these girls are coming.
Yeah, if we work fast, we can get ourselves engaged before anyone else found out.
But they are all old enough.
So, I don't mind a long engagement. At least it's a bird in the hand.
Yeah, waiting a month or 2 wouldn't be so bad.
All right, just remember, keep this quiet. We don't want every man in Seattle to turn out.
What about Danny? He'll be here tomorrow for the meeting.
Yeah, and I seem to women like the strong, silent type.
Don't forget the badge. Some women find that irresistible.
Come on, can you guys imagine Danny married?
Not really. I don't even know if he knows what to do with a wife.
It'll be all right as long as he doesn't try and court Katie. She's gonna be mine.
Gentlemen, Be reasonable. Perhaps we should flip a coin or draw some sticks to see who pursues Katie, and then the other two can set their sights on the younger siblings.
Here, I got some matchsticks. I'll break one in half. And whoever gets the short stick gets Katie. Draw.
This is even more primitive and uncivilized than I'd imagined. They can't seriously expect me to live in a place like this. I can't believe we sold a perfectly good mansion in Boston to come here. Hey, one of you toads go and load the wagon. And be careful with my large trunk. The latch is broken. What are you looking at? I said go get my stuff out of that broken down plowable wagon.
Excuse me, miss, but we don't work here. We're the town council.
Oh, my mistake. Sorry. I should have said, get your lazy town councilman's behind out to that wagon and bring in my stuff.
All right!
And be careful. It's muddy and slippery out there. I don't want any of my stuff dropped.
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me your name isn't Katie, is it?
Katie? No. My name is Catherine. No one calls me Katie except my father, so see to it that you don't do it again.
Yes, ma'am. I'll just go help Judd.
And what are you looking at?
Oh, nothing. I am Asa Mercer, mayor and president of the university, and may I say it is a pleasure to meet you, Catherine.
No, you may not. Mr. La-dee-da, mayor and president of the university. I have no use for you, your stinking town, or your university. I hate rain, I hate trees, and I hate the Pacific Ocean. I have been on a train for 3 days and a stagecoach for 8. I am tired, I'm dirty, and I'm beginning to feel a foul temper coming on, so you better stay out of my way. Dad, Ma, why have you brought us to this God-forsaken place?
I know I haven't met a woman in a while, but that was not as pleasurable as I remembered it. Oh, I'm sorry.
What for?
For whatever I might have said to offend you.
I'm sure a fine gentleman such as yourself can never do anything to offend anyone. I'm Bridget Donovan. I hope this is the right place. Is this the establishment of Mr. Seamus Donovan?
Indeed it is, and I am Asa Mercer.
Asa, what a delightful name. Tell me everything about yourself, Mr. Mercer.
Shouldn't I get your bags first?
Nonsense. One so finely tailored as yourself couldn't possibly be a bellman.
No, I'm just the mayor and president of the university.
The mayor? And the university president? Why, I should not for all the world have you waiting on me. It is I should be waiting on you. Please sit down. Can I get you some tea? Maybe a bite to eat?
Aren't you weary after your travels, Miss Donovan?
A woman should never be too weary to entertain a handsome, intelligent, important man such as yourself, Mr. Mercer.
Oh, please, call me Asa.
And you must call me Briddy.
Oh, I'd like that.
So, tell me, Asa, how does Mrs. Mercer like Seattle?
My mother?
No, your wife.
Oh, I'm not married.
Oh, that's too bad. Seattle seems like a lonely place for someone who's alone. In Boston, everything was so festive. There were always parties and things. Here, there's only trees and rain. I do hope I won't go mad.
I shall make it my reason for living to see that you don't.
Asa, you wouldn't be trying to sweep me on my feet now, would you?
Oh, why no?
Oh, well, I would surely like it if you would.
Where are those clowns with my bags? If I don't get out of these clothes soon, I'll scream. Briddy, I'm getting the bed by the window, so just don't think about taking it. And I don't want to hear any of your congestion nonsense.
Of course not. You may have any bed you wish. Have you met our mayor, Asa Mercer?
Yeah. Very impressive, mayor of a mud hole. And I've got first dibs on the bath, so don't even try sneaking in there before me.
Of course not.
When those idiots get here with my bags, tell them to bring it up. They probably got lost between the house and the wagon.
You'll have to forgive my sister. I'm afraid she's a bit out of sorts.
Does traveling always affect you so?
Well,
Or perhaps she's upset about moving to Seattle.
Actually, she hated Boston and everyone in it. And as I think of it, I don't think she's actually struck anyone today, unless prior to my coming in.
Well, a little shoving, but no actual striking.
Then I would say she's in relatively good spirits.
Wait, you mean to say this is her usual state?
Oh, no.
Whew, that's a relief.
Sometimes she's worse.
Oh. Well, are you, my dear Bridie, as kind as Catherine is cruel?
It is in my nature to please as much as it is in Catherine's to provoke.
Asa, we struck pure gold.
The younger sisters of Catherine are sweet, lively, and kind.
And they never shoved us, not once.
Allow me to introduce Mariah Donovan.
And Maeve, they're twins.
Ladies, meet Asa Mercer, mayor and president of the university.
There's a university here? I'd love to study music.
Maeve has a lovely voice. I've often told her she belongs in the opera.
I hope you'll sing for me sometime.
I didn't know bank presidents enjoyed music.
Oh, do you sing as well, Mariah?
I'm afraid not, Clive.
But she's written some lovely prose. Perhaps Mr. Giles would like to hear some of your poems, Mariah.
I wouldn't burden a professional such as Mr. Giles with my girlish musings.
I'm very interested in your musings, I mean.
Well, this is a great day.
My daughters, you've come at last.
Stop!
I missed you.
Where's me babe Elena?
She was talking to some boy. He was hanging a banner.
Ah, Patrick, that's a good lad. Now look, come on, let's go find your mother. She'll be so happy to see you.
Men, this is a great day indeed.
Where's my trunk?
Just drop them anywhere, Patrick. It's awfully sweet of you to carry all those heavy bags. You must be ever so strong.
Well, Elena, being a lumberjack is hard work. A man needs good, strong arms.
Wait, you're a lumberjack?
Well, I will be next year when I turn 18.
My, that's ever so exciting.
Yeah, I'm making quite a bit of money, you know. Why? I'll be able to build my own house before I'm 20.
So I suppose once you have a job and a house, next thing you know, you'd be wanting a wife.
Yup. A what?
A wife.
Maybe first I'd like to get a dog.
A dog?
Yeah, I never had a dog before.
Why a dog?
I don't know, I'm just feeling it.
Oh my gosh, there's Catherine's trunk. Maybe you should probably get Catherine's trunk.
If she needs it so badly, maybe she ought to get it herself.
Where's my trunk?
Yep, kid, you've got a lot to learn.
Seamus, don't you care about the future of your daughters?
Woman, if I didn't care about the future of my daughters, I would have never left me dear old Ireland. It's always the girls I'm thinking of.
The girls or your fishing business?
How can you say such a thing? It's their happiness I'm having and nothing more.
Fine, then it's agreed. I'll hire a teacher for the girls right away.
What else do they need? They know reading, mathematics. What else will they use for anything else?
Seamus, in Ireland that might be all right, but our daughters are American women.
Nonsense. Every blessed one of them was born on Irish soil.
But we're in America now. They need more reading and history and mathematics.
Mathematics? What does a girl need with mathematics?
I'm going to ask Mr. Mercer to recommend a tutor for the girls, and that is final.
Oh, all right. Have it your way.
Good day, friends.
Are you a fisherman?
No.
Well, didn't you see me banner?
There was a sign out there, but all the writing was washed away.
I told you.
Well, it's supposed to say Fisherman's Inn.
You mean you only let rooms to fishermen?
But you're the only inn in town. Where else are we to go? You don't need to go anywhere else. There are plenty of rooms upstairs for fishermen, should any show up. Besides, this one's got a wife already.
Oh, all right. A room for the two of you then?
Actually, I'll be needing one room for myself, as well as rooms for several beautiful young ladies. Oh, and my sister also.
Under what circumstances would you be traveling with several young ladies, Mr. Spector?
Purely business, my good lady. I'm opening a social club.
A social club?
Yes, strictly on the up and up. You see, the last time I was here, I noticed a sharp imbalance between the number of men and women in Seattle.
My brother decided it was his civic duty to bring over some young women to ease the loneliness of the men here.
All fine church-going women from upstanding families.
Their parents were willing to let them go?
They're all of legal age.
And besides, their parents trust my sister and I implicitly. Agatha is their chaperone.
That's good to know.
But, of course, it is a costly venture. So, I came up with a plan where I pay for food, lodging, and what have you. And they work for me until their debt is paid off. Then they're free to marry and settle here.
In what capacity do they work for you, Mr. Spector?
As hostesses in my social club. I call them the Spector Girls. The building's nearly complete. It will be located just across the road.
These girls must be awfully brave to leave their families and come to this strange and wild country alone.
They're not alone. They have Agatha and me.
It must be a comfort to their parents to know that you two are caring for them so.
I'm sure you and your young ladies will be welcome here in Seattle. I just wished you waited a bit longer to come.
Why?
Now, Seamus, a few more young ladies in town isn't going to hurt Katie's chances of finding a proper husband.
Katie?
Our daughter. Seamus is afraid she'll never find a husband and he'll never get back to Ireland in his dear fishing boats.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Oh, it's some silly Donovan tradition that the oldest child must marry first. That's the Irish for you. I'll show Mr. Spector and his sister to their rooms. Please find the boy and have him get their luggage.
Oh, all right. Patrick, where are you, lad?
Why don't you go get the girls while I take care of the rooms?
Very well.
Please sign our register, Mr. Spector. The girls will be in rooms 2 and 4. They're adjoining, and you'll be just down the hall in room 7.
Right. I'd like to check out the rooms before the young ladies come in.
Of course, right this way.
You girls wait here. I'll find Darren, and don't even think of leaving. There's nothing out there but wilderness as far as the eye can see.
Then why did you keep us locked in the wagon?
Why, for your own protection, Elsa. You know my brother and I care for you just as if you were our own little sisters.
Is that why you're charging us double what the train would have cost us to get here?
You forget that the railroads don't extend credit.
Nor do they charge 60% interest either.
Nor do they offer the personal protection that my brother and I have.
Some protection? Days without food except for bread and water?
That was your own fault. There are always consequences for bad behavior.
Changing your mind's not a bad behavior. None of us would have agreed to come here if we would have known what it'd be like.
But you did agree, and you signed contracts. Now, you must honor those contracts, or you'll be thrown in jail.
Well, at least in jail we might get a decent meal and a warm bed.
You should all be down on your knees thanking my brother and me for taking you out of the orphanage and giving you a new start in the West. Now, if I hear one more word of dissension, you'll all go without dinner tonight and breakfast tomorrow for that matter. Now stay here.
I never thought I'd miss that horrible orphanage in Philadelphia. Scrubbing floors all the time. But it seems like paradise compared to this.
Don't cry, Julia. We mustn't show any weakness. Otherwise, they'll just bully us all the more.
But they made it sound so wonderful.
Yeah, see the wide open spaces. Be a pioneer, woman.
Meet a handsome young man, get married, and raise a family on the new frontier.
I ain't hardly seen a man since we left Missouri.
Me either. Just coyotes, buffalo, and snakes.
Well, at least we're finally here. And once Darien gets that social club open,
we'll be able to start working and paying off our contracts.
Don't kid yourself, Elsa. As much as Darian and Agatha are charging us for food, lodging, and transportation,
Not to mention interest.
we'll never be able to work it off. We'll be their slaves until we're too old and gray to find husbands. Never mind having a family.
Now look what you've done. Don't cry, Julia. We'll find a way to get free of Darian and Agatha.
Stop crying, Julia. Here he comes.
It's okay.
Ladies, Agatha is waiting for you upstairs. You're to stay in your rooms and speak to no one.
Why shouldn't we speak to anyone, Darian? What are you afraid of?
Me? I'm not afraid of anything. It's for your own protection, I assure you. Now get upstairs.
Come on, go.
Squalling bunch of motherless brats. There's not a spirited filly among them. I'd like to see a woman who could stand up to the likes of Darian Spector. But these will earn me a pretty penny anyways. Once the saloon is finished, I'll have more money than I'll ever be able to spend. And in 6 months, I'll return to the east and bring back more women. And as long as I have the only women in Seattle, all the men will spend their hard-earned money at my saloon. I'll be rich. I'm a genius.
What on earth would there be to laugh about in this pitiful place?
Why, everything. And nothing at all. I'm Darian Spector. You must be Katie.
Catherine to you. No one calls me Katie except my father. Anyways, how do you know who I am?
I've just had the pleasure of meeting your parents. Your name came up.
I'm sure the pleasure was all yours.
You're a spirited woman indeed. I like that.
Well, I don't give a fig what you or any other man likes. I'm not so easily swayed by pretty words as my silly sisters are.
Sisters?
Not even here a full day, and they're already taken with the men of Seattle. The little empty heads can't wait to be married. Well, that's fine for them, but I refuse to become property of some man who's not half as smart as I am, but who can vote and own land while I can't.
Sisters?
Yeah, 4 of them.
Oh, dear.
All pea-brained imbeciles making fools of themselves over men they hardly know.
5 single women. This could spoil my whole plan.
Plan?
You're an intriguing woman. I've never known anyone with such spunk. Could I compel you to take a wagon ride with me?
No, you could not. Men, egocentric, self-centered baboons.
That is the meanest, nastiest woman I have ever met. There is nothing I would like more than to tame her. But 4 sisters, this is a disaster. They must all be gotten rid of. I must make it my first order of business.
I just love Seattle.
Me too. I'm so glad we came. I thought no place could be as wonderful as Boston, but I was wrong.
Yeah, there's nothing like rain and mud and not one dress shop in the entire town.
You can send for dresses, Elena.
And a little rain never hurt anyone.
Just a minor inconvenience.
I don't get it. What's so great about Seattle anyway?
The men!
Big deal. Boston had men too.
Not like Asa Mercer.
Or Clive Giles. Or Jed Terwilliger.
Well, it doesn't matter how wonderful they are until Catherine gets married, and none of you can either.
We know. We tried talking to Catherine, but she's so stubborn.
She insists she'll never marry. She's never met a man worth giving up her independence.
Catherine says before she's married, she's her father's property, and after she's married, she's her husband's property.
So?
So, Catherine doesn't think that's right. She thinks it's oppressive.
Now she's filling Elena's head with her nonsense. Well, that's fine for Catherine, but what about the rest of us?
That's right. Thanks to Catherine, we could all wind up old maids.
Why don't you just get married?
Catherine, you know we can't. The tradition.
Break the tradition. If you had any courage, you'd get married if you wanted to, tradition or not.
Catherine, such talk.
You won't do it because you're a bunch of mealy-mouthed, demure, eyes cast down, walk 10 paces behind females.
How dare you talk to us that way?
I'll show you how dare I. Now say aunt.
I will not.
Finally showing some spunk, huh? If you can stand up to me, why are you so afraid to stand up to father?
Let go.
Say aunt.
You're hurting me.
I'll just twist it harder.
Catherine, stop.
Catherine, you'll break her arm.
Let her go.
Please stop, Catherine.
There now. That's better. Pretty little things like you shouldn't be scrapping so. If I let you go, will you promise not to hurt the other young ladies anymore?
I promise I won't hurt a single one of them. Didn't promise not to hurt you, though.
Here now, don't you know there's quite a penalty for striking an officer of the law?
It won't matter if you're not liable to enforce it. Let me go.
Seems I've got a bit of conundrum here. If I let you go, you'll most probably come at me again.
You better believe it.
But I can't very well hold you all day and all night. Now can I? Any suggestions, ladies?
Oh, I'll go get Father. He can always calm her down.
Father? So you're all sisters, are you?
Yes, we're the daughters of Donovan. I'm Bridget. This is Maeve and Mariah. And that was Elena who just ran out.
Pleased to meet you, ladies. I'm Danny O'Brien, Federal Marshal.
Oh, why don't we all have tea and cookies, shall we? Maybe we could make a quilt or something.
And who's this wild thing?
That would be Catherine, our oldest sister.
Pleased to meet you, Katie.
Don't ever call me that, do you hear? I'll beat you till you're black and blue. I'll pound you to a pulp. Your own mother won't know you when I'm through with you.
Pleased to meet you, too.
Here now, and what is all the commotion?
It's Catherine again.
Katie, you get your hands off that fella.
Actually, I believe it's the young man's got a hold of Catherine, Seamus.
Oh, so it is. And who might you be, my good man?
Dad, this maniac's like to kill me, and you're exchanging pleasantries with him.
I'm Danny O'Brien, sir, Federal Marshal. I'd shake your hand, but to be honest, I'm afraid to let go of this one.
Afraid you should be, because when I get my hands
Oh,
on you,
you'll do no
I'm
such
gonna...
thing. Now you settle down so this officer can turn you loose. Stop your struggling, I say. That's better. You can let her go.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Okay. Ow!
Catherine! Shame on you. Off to your room. All of you girls upstairs, there's still unpacking to do. Now run along. I'm sorry about Catherine, Mr. O'Brien. I'm sure she didn't mean any harm.
You must be the new owner of the Seattle Inn.
Seamus Donovan, but you mean the Seattle Fisherman's Inn?
Fishermen? But there are hardly any fishermen.
I know. Anyway, Danny, I hope Katie didn't give you the wrong impression. She really is a lovely girl.
I'm sure she is. We just got off on the wrong foot.
Are you a married man, Danny?
Oh, no, I'm not, sir.
Oh, a man ought to be married. You should seriously consider it.
I haven't really met anyone.
It looked like you and Katie were getting pretty well acquainted.
I would hardly call that
I think she likes you.
Likes me? I don't think so.
Did she punch you?
No, but she tried to.
Did she spit on you?
No.
Then she likes you.
But she stepped on my foot. And she said some things that weren't very nice.
Ah, sticks and stones, me boy. Sticks and stones.
Danny, I'm glad you're here. Mr. Donovan, I'd like to introduce to you Running Bear of the Squamish tribe.
How do you do?
And Skulking Fox of the Dwarmish tribe.
Hey.
Nice to meet you, gentlemen. I'll just let you get on with your meeting.
Well, I suppose we should get down to business.
It was further decided by the elders of both of our tribes that we should seal our peace through a marriage union.
Lots were drawn. My sister, Lily Blossom, who waits outside, has been chosen to represent our people.
As chief son, I will present my tribe as husband to Lily Blossom. My sister, Morning Dove, comes as a witness for our people.
And I will be a witness to the Suquamish tribe.
We will inquire and wait for prayer and preparation.
It was further decided that in order to forge a bond
With the settlers here, the marriage should form according to two laws of the United States.
As a justice of the peace, I would be honored to do such a civil ceremony.
Thank you, Mr. Mercer.
We can have the ceremony right here.
In the meantime, we need a place for the women to stay. Bear and I will camp in the woods.
There's a room right here in the inn. Oh, thank you.
All reminds that is for my brother and Little Blossom to meet.
You mean they haven't even met each other yet?
No, it wasn't necessary.
So you're telling me you're marrying someone you've never even met?
I'll do this for my tribe and for peace, although it is not the desire of my heart.
Nor would the desire of Lily Blossom's heart. She was promised to a strong and brave of our tribe, and it's been difficult for me to suffer through her tears these last many days.
She should be honored to have her sight unseen.
Maybe we should bring in Lily Blossom now.
Can you imagine agreeing to marry someone you've never even met before?
Well, given our odds in Seattle, yeah.
Skulking Fox, your bride, Lily Blossom, princess of the Squamish tribe.
Princess, I am Skulking Fox, Squamish warrior.
I'm humbled in your presence, my future husband.
This is my sister, Morning Dove. She'll be your attendant.
Thank you, Morning Dove.
It is my pleasure.
I'm so happy, Mr. Mercer. You're sure tomorrow isn't too soon to start?
No, not at all.
Come with me, ladies. I'll show you to your room.
Come, we must prepare a camp.
Great news, fellas. Mrs. Donovan has asked me to tutor her daughters.
Needing help?
I thought you might say that. I have decided that I will teach him history, since that is my field of profession. And I was sure I could persuade the banker to teach him math and the editor to teach him English.
Good show.
Well, word to the wise, my friends. Beware of that one named Katie. She is not afraid to challenge any man. Well, I must be off.
Off so soon, Danny? Stay for dinner.
I'd like to, Asa, but duty calls. I'll be back in a few days.
Here they are, Mr. Mercer. I told Bridget she didn't need any more schooling, but she insisted.
I just know Mr. Mercer can teach me a lot of new things. I am very eager to learn.
That's the spirit. They're all yours, Mr. Mercer.
Come on, Maeve. I'll give you a private math lesson in the stable.
Shall we adjourn to the woods? I recite some poetry to you.
Let's take a ride in my wagon. There's a nice place down by the river where we can discuss history.
Mr. Mercer!
I guess I won't be learning anything today.
Guess again.
I don't even know how to knit. It's fine.
I'm not first. Who says good morning? Okay, we're after.
Then, I stick it through here, wrap it around, pull it through, pull it off. Make sense?
Good morning. You girls should go outside. It's a gorgeous day. It finally stopped raining.
There's nothing I like better, but we have to stay inside.
Mr. and Miss Spector are certainly diligent chaperones, but they needn't worry.
What do you mean?
She means that there was a few men out during the day. Some were off at work in the forest and the lumber mills.
And some at the docks, though not many. We looked.
I don't get it. We're the rarity around here, not them.
I know, but I like the attention. Maybe you should let Ma talk to Mr. Spector. I'm sure she'd agree it's not right for you to stay locked up in here every day.
Maybe we should.
No. Why not?
Elsa, remember what Darian said? Yeah, that's right. I'm getting used to 3 square meals every day and a soft mattress every night.
Wait, what does she mean?
Nothing.
Never mind. Tell us about the men. Are they handsome?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. As soon as I've completed my contract, I'm going to marry the first man I see, handsome or not, and settle down.
Me too. It's the main reason I came to Seattle.
I've already met the man of my dreams. For all the good it will do me.
I know what you mean. That darn Catherine is standing in the way of all our happiness. She sure is.
Listen to yourselves. If you're so in love, why don't you do as Catherine suggested and break the stupid tradition?
It wouldn't be right.
It would break Father's heart. Have you no feelings?
What's she talking about? What tradition?
None of us can be married until our oldest sister, Catherine, is.
Oh, I've met her. Looks like we Spectacles might beat you Donovans to the altar.
Anyway, I don't know why you want to hook up with the first guy you meet. Remember what Ma's always said? You need to take your time, make the right match, because it's forever. And believe me, forever is a very long time.
I don't think it matters anyway. By the time we're free to marry, we'll probably have forgotten why we wanted to in the first place. Come on, girls. We should get back up to our room.
And we've got chores.
It's Lindsay.
I want to be married in the traditional dress of my people.
But you're marrying me, and I'm Duwamish.
I am not to become Duwamish. I am to educate you about the Suquamish.
Educate me? When does one educate a man?
Since a Suquamish woman is forced to unite with a Duwamish boy.
Guard tongue, woman. I am to be chief.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Enough squabbling. Both should be preparing for your union.
Your brother is right, Lily Blossom. You and Sulky Fox must learn love each other.
Endure, maybe. Love, never.
This is too much to ask of any man.
You must try win her. Sulky Fox, it is the good of people. It is your duty.
I'll try, but I won't enjoy it.
Do you think they were wisely chosen?
I don't know. I mean, they are the younger siblings. They do lack wisdom and maturity, but we have to give them a chance to accept their fates.
You're right, Runny Bear. I'm glad you have come with Lily Blossom.
And Skulking Fox is lucky enough to have such a lovely and patient sister.
I hope you find your time visit to your sister once. She's at our village.
I'll make it a frequent custom.
I hope so. Please excuse me. I'll go to Lily Blossom.
And I'll go to Skulking Fox.
Dude, what are you doing hitting me? Come on. This is a pretty nice place you got here.
Yes, I suppose so. You should see our place. It's real dumb compared to this.
Right. Now, when did you say the estimated completion of the saloon?
2 weeks tops.
The rain has slowed us down somewhat.
And hey, since we're here, can we have a look at them?
At what?
The girls.
I haven't seen a woman in 3 years.
Well, you're just going to have to wait a few more weeks like everyone else.
Not everyone else.
What do you mean?
I saw 3 of them just yesterday.
How could you? The Spectre girls have not set a foot outside this inn.
Oh, they was walking with that professor guy, and the banker, and that guy that runs the newspaper.
Well, those were not the Spectre girls, Mo.
Who were they then?
They were some of Mr. Donovan's daughters, Larry.
Some? You mean there's more?
A few others, perhaps, Albert. But just wait until you see my girls.
Well, why wait if Mr. Donovan has daughters he's willing to let us see now?
Well, because The Donovan daughters aren't nearly as pretty as...
I don't give a hoot what a woman looks like, as long as she's a female.
But besides, the girls I saw were beautiful. I don't see where girls could be any prettier than Mr. Donovan's.
And his are available now.
Well, that's just the thing. They're not.
You mean Mr. Donovan charges fellas to see his daughters too?
No, what I mean is that none of the daughters can get married until the oldest daughter, Katie, is married off. So you see, the daughters of Donovan they won't be available until long after the Spectre girls are.
Well, then lead me to this Katie. I'll be glad to marry her if it'll help out the other guys in town.
Well, you see, the thing is, Katie's already engaged.
What? She is?
What?
Who?
Why, to me, of course.
Well, that's good. That means the others will be ready before you know it.
Except we've agreed on a long engagement. Years, probably.
Years?
I want to be sure that my business is going to be successful before we, marry. So you're much better off just to get the saloon finished. Then, for a small fee, you can see a Spectre girl anytime you want.
Oh, boy.
And for a little bit more, she'll even dance with you.
Wow.
And for a little bit more, she'll serve you a scrumptious meal. Now get back to work.
Right away, boss.
Yes, sir.
Let's go, man.
Agatha, we've got to do something about these daughters of Mr. Donovan.
What do you suggest?
I'm going to get engaged to Catherine.
That doesn't sound like much of a plan.
Don't you remember the Donovan family tradition, which holds that the oldest sibling must be married before any of the others can be?
That's right. Mrs. Donovan mentioned it.
The only way to assure that Katie doesn't get married and open the floodgates of available women is to get engaged to her myself. And she's no longer available, you see?
But you'll never actually marry her.
Never is a very long time. I rather like the girl.
But if you marry her,
Don't worry, Agatha. I won't do anything to defeat our cause. I'll find some way to get rid of the Spectre girls permanently, but for now, I need to get them out of circulation so that the only real choice for the men of Seattle will be our girls.
It's a grand scheme, Darian, but there's just one problem.
And what is that?
Getting Catherine to agree to marry you.
Are you serious? I'm charming and sophisticated. What woman could resist me?
Sorry, brother dear, but I don't think getting engaged to her will be as easy as you think.
Dad, where's my raincoat?
Here she comes now. You can start wooing her right away.
I will. Make yourself scarce.
I want to watch.
Agatha.
Oh, all right. Oops, pardon me.
You. Are you still here?
That's no way to talk to the man of your dreams.
More likely my nightmares.
Huh, very funny.
Excuse me, I need some fresh air.
Going out would be a great mistake.
Why is that?
Other men would cast their eyes upon you, and it would create such a jealousy in me. I just don't know what I would do to them.
What?
Catherine, I love you.
Are you crazy?
Yes, a little. Maybe. I know you pretend to be cruel and heartless, but I think you like me too.
Back off, Buster.
I think it's time you stopped playing your game and admitted your true feelings. I know you want me to kiss you, Katie.
Let me go. Take your hands off me. Let me go.
Danny, what a fine pleasure it is to be seeing you again.
Hello, Seamus.
Won't you join us for supper, Danny?
No, actually, I was looking for Asa Mercer. I was told I'd find him here.
No doubt he's giving lessons to the girls. Never seen them so happy to learn.
Especially Bridget. I thought she'd have enough of schooling by now.
Ah, but the right teacher makes everything so exciting.
Katie, will you be still?
Stop pestering Mr. O'Brien, Catherine. It isn't ladylike. Me? Pester him? Will you take your big hairy hands off me, you cretin?
Will you behave and stop strangling that poor man?
Oh dear, Mr. Spectre, are you all right? He had it coming, and so do you.
Katie, go find Asa and your sisters.
You are the most irritating, intruding moron it has ever been my displeasure to come across.
She's crazy for you, Danny boy.
Lucky me.
Danny, will you help take Mr. Spectre upstairs? I think he's fallen asleep.
I think he looks downright unconscious, if you ask me.
I think it's safe to say he'll be out for a few days.
Well, I don't want him in here. There's no place for anyone to sit.
Oh, all right, Danny. Help me bring him upstairs.
That's funny. I could have sworn that Catherine said your idiot friend Danny O'Brien was waiting for you at the inn.
That's what she said, all right.
I'm surprised you could hear her running away like that.
I wasn't running away. I was trying to draw her away from the rest of you guys.
Well, it doesn't matter anyways. Catherine is gone.
What's wrong, Brittany?
You know I can't marry you, Asa. You know Father wants us all to marry fishermen so they can run the family business.
But is that what you want?
I've never allowed myself to think about what I want.
Well, maybe it's time that you did.
Well, it doesn't matter anyways. Catherine has scared away every man who's ever showed the slightest interest in her.
That's right. The Donovan tradition has become the Donovan curse.
Just like our great-great-aunt Catherine. No man in his right mind will have our sister either.
Well, there's got to be someone.
He'd have to be strong. Catherine has crippled many men.
He'd have to be independent. She loathes convention.
He'd have to be kind, gentle, and patient to suffer with a wife such as Catherine would be.
Danny, or Asa, I'll be out as soon as I put on Mr. Spectre's pajamas.
Why would he want to put on Mr. Spectre's pajamas?
Danny!
Of course! He's perfect!
Last week, when she tried to beat him up and couldn't, I thought she'd never stop talking about him.
What did she say?
I don't think I should repeat it.
But that's not the point. At least she's talking about him. Catherine's never found a man worth her interest at all.
But how are we going to get Danny interested in her?
I have an idea.
What?
Clive, do you remember your Shakespeare?
Indeed I do. The Bard is one of my favorites.
Do you recall The Taming of the Shrew?
Of course.
What is this Taming of the Shrew?
It's one of William Shakespeare's most famous plays about a cruel and hateful woman that is finally tamed by man.
How does he do it?
I'll have to explain later. Give us some time alone with Danny. I'm sure he'll come around.
Of course.
Ah, Danny.
Hello, men. Men, we need to talk about the marriage of Skull King Fox and Lily Blossom. I heard things aren't going that well.
We'll get to that in a moment. We have some more important matters to discuss. Please, sit down. Danny, how do you feel about women?
I don't know too many since I came to this territory. I like them, though. Most of them.
Everything about getting married.
Someday, maybe. It'd be hard to ask any woman to marry me. I don't make much money, and there's always an element of danger.
Very unconventional, huh?
You could say that.
You might have to relocate, but you'll make more money, that's for sure.
Well, what if the right woman came around? Would you marry her?
I don't know.
Well, what if her father had a business, a very lucrative business, and was just looking for a young, able-bodied man to run it?
You could give up being a marshal and go work for an old man.
And you wouldn't have to wander around this lonely territory and sleeping on the ground.
Cooking your own food.
Being shot at by criminals.
And best of all, you'll have a loving, caring, beautiful woman by your side at the end of every night.
I must admit, that sounds like a dream come true.
Well, wake up, because it's about to become yours.
Huh?
We know a woman who's crazy about you.
She hasn't stopped talking about you since you've met.
And her father's got a successful business with no son to run it.
And you could take over the business.
Well, who is she? Wait, she's got to be one of those Donovan daughters. They're the only woman I've met lately.
You're right.
Is it Bridget? Oh, let it be Bridget. She's beautiful.
Well, actually, Bridget's mine.
Oh, sorry. Well, is it Maeve or Mariah? They're both lovely girls.
I'm afraid they're already spoken for, old boy.
Yep.
Well, is it Alana? She's darling, but she's a bit young.
No, it's not Alana, Danny.
Huh. Well, the only other one I remember meeting was Katie, and I could never. Katie? It's Katie? She hates me, and frankly, she scares me a little.
That's just her way.
She acts like that because she's attracted to you.
According to her sisters, she's only mean to men she likes.
She's been extremely nice to us.
Well, then she must like that Darren Spector fellow more than me. She beat him half to death.
That's why it's important to move fast.
I don't know, fellas.
She's a beautiful girl.
Yeah, she is nice to look at.
And you could give up being a marshal and go work for her father.
Well.
You could give up your vagabond life and settle into a lucrative career.
Running an inn?
No, not the inn.
Then what?
Nothing you couldn't handle. The important thing is you'll have each other for the rest of your life.
Someone to keep you warm on those long, cold winter nights.
That sounds inviting.
Idiots. You can tell men designed this town. No sidewalks, no clothing stores, no museums, just mud and horses and trees. And you, don't you have anything better to do? Why don't you go arrest somebody or something?
Danny, is she crazy about you or what?
That woman is in love.
She wants you, Danny.
Oh, you know, guys, being a federal marshal isn't all that bad.
Come on, we'll help you figure out how to quarter.
People that the couple live alone after the union.
Holy, you cook so properly and do the other things that women are accustomed to. You don't have my mother and sisters nearby to teach you.
Do you think we are savages? I can cook and sew well for the likes of you.
What is that supposed to mean?
It means you are backward, no account, heap big buffalo-brained raccoon. My father must have been out of his mind to agree to this union.
I couldn't have any spot I wanted among the Amish. You should consider yourself fortunate to have been chosen.
I came as a sacrifice for my people, but now that I think of it, I'd rather climb to far yonder fire mountain and throw myself in to marry you.
Skulking Fox, Lily Blossom, you have to stop this fighting.
It is worse than when our tribe is at war.
We cannot find peace if you two cannot find common ground.
It is not my fault that the women of your tribe are too outspoken and rough.
Skulking Fox, don't say such things.
Please, brother, I have to spend time with Lily Blossom. She wants you treat with, she's no different from other women. She wants you to treat her with some respect.
When she earns it, then she will have it.
If I felt it was worth earning, then I might.
Vulture.
Gopher.
I'm so sorry, my brother.
I'm sorry for my sister.
This seemed like ill-made match.
Truly it does, but what can we do? We have given our word, and we have to see this through.
I'm afraid this union might make worse, not better.
But we tried to make a union that would ensure peace and harmony.
You're right, Runny Bear. You're strong and wise, brave. I wish could my people come to you as I have. They could no longer wish your battle, your tribe.
And if only my people could come to know you, Morning Dove, your sweetness, your lovingness, your intelligence, they would never wish a harmful thing about the Suquamish tribe.
If only my brother could see you, I see you.
And if only my blind sister could see your brother as I see you.
This union could be pleasant and welcome one.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
I will speak, my brother.
Yeah,
and you will come to sense.
I'll go to my sister.
I am telling you, girls, I'm about to go crazy.
Me too. If Darian and Agatha don't let us out of here soon, I'll be climbing the walls.
I'm so bored, I wouldn't mind scrubbing a floor.
I just want to go home. I'm sick of all this rain.
Believe me, girls, once Darian gets the social club open, you'll look back at these days as the good old days.
I know. Seamus and Abby are like the mom and dad I've never had.
I know what you mean.
And the girls are like sisters. Well, except for Katie.
That's how sisters usually are.
Oh. Well, I guess it's okay then.
Maybe we should tell Mr. and Mrs. Donovan about, Darian and Agatha charging us so much.
What do you think they'd be able to do about it? After all, we all walked into this with our eyes wide open.
I don't know, it just doesn't seem right is all. I don't mind paying my fair share, but with what the Spectres are paying, I'll never be able to pay them back.
All we've got to do is just pay off our contracts and they'll leave us alone.
They own us, Elsa. We can't even be normal kids and go outside and play.
She has a point.
There's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing anyone can do about it.
We just sit in here and read then and do nothing until the social
Keep your voice down. Darian might hear you.
Fine.
I don't know what we're going to do.
I hate it here.
Don't cry.
It's so boring.
Darian will come in and he'll yell at you again. Do you want that?
Yeah, but I don't want to sit in a room where it's covered in termites.
I don't know what we're going to do. We just have to get those contracts paid off and everything. Get behind me.
Ladies, where is Agatha? Why has she left you alone?
She was taking a bath.
Agatha!
Coming, Darian! What's the big deal anyways? We're a little too old to need a babysitter.
You've already proven you can't be trusted. Until every penny of my money is paid back, you'll all be strictly supervised. Why have you left these girls alone?
I was taking a bath.
Well, no more baths until the social club is finished. Now get them upstairs.
Come along, girls, up to your rooms.
Not you. I need to talk to you for a moment.
I'm terrified right now.
Darian, why are you in your pajamas? It's past noon.
I have no idea, but never mind that. There's something far more important we must discuss.
What is it?
It's Catherine. She won't entertain my advances.
Told you so.
Shut up. If our saloon is going to be a success, we need to get the Donovan daughters out of circulation.
And how are you going to do that?
We have to go to Plan B.
What is Plan B?
We kidnap Catherine and hold her until Seamus agrees to leave Seattle and take all of his daughters with him.
And you're going to do that how?
I have a plan. Tell those 3 stooges I hired to meet me here in 30 minutes.
What makes you think they'll agree to do it?
They won't even know they're doing it. I'm a genius. Now go get them.
Can't I get dressed first?
No, there's no time to lose.
But what if some female-starved man sees me and attacks?
Don't worry, Agatha. These men are lonesome, not deranged.
Right.
I suppose I should get dressed.
Though I was sure I'd already done that.
March 3rd, dear Journal. Here we are in Seattle, and though Dad tries to keep a bright outlook, I know he doesn't like it any more than he did Boston. He misses his dear old Ireland. Ma seems happy enough, though, and my silly sisters have all gone and fallen in love, except for Alana. She's the only sensible one, besides me. As for me, I'm miserable, as usual.
Excuse me.
You! I thought I told you not to come back here again.
You can't fool me, Katie. You're being rude. I know what that means. I've decided to court you.
Court me? Are you a complete idiot? What's wrong with all the men here anyway?
Go ahead. Call me names. But I know how you truly feel. As far as I'm concerned, you're the sweetest girl in all of Seattle.
I may have to hurt you.
Come. Sit on my lap.
You're even crazier than that Spectre fellow.
So you do like me more than him. Asa was right.
That does it. I want you out of my house.
Danny, good to see ya.
Hello, Seamus.
Would you be joining us for lunch? Abby's corned beef and cabbage is heavenly.
I'd like that, Seamus.
You know, Katie's quite the cook herself.
Dad, can't you see what's going on here?
Oh, I'll leave you two alone.
Dad, make him let me go.
Katie, will you stop and just go? Well, Abby's corned beef and cabbage is waiting. Come on.
There we go. Okay. We're doing it.
All right, I think we've got it now.
We wait out front, you send your fiancée out.
We tie her up, and we gag her.
We wait outside and wait for you.
And then you come and get her to take her to her surprise birthday party.
That's right. And with my dear Catherine out of the way, we'll be able to make all the many preparations without her suspecting a thing. Albert?
I have a question.
Yes?
What do we do if she asks us why we're taking her there and tying her up?
Don't tell her anything. Tell her you are sworn to secrecy.
All right.
Now go wait outside.
Yes, boss.
Yes, sir.
What do you want? I'm trying to shuck the corn.
I thought I should just let you know there was a fella here a moment ago.
A federal marshal?
Why, yes, he was a federal marshal. Anyways, he was saying the most horrid things about you.
What kinds of things?
I really don't want to repeat them.
Spit it out.
He said you were the meanest, nastiest woman he ever met.
Is that all? I was afraid he might be talking about how sweet I am again.
He also mentioned that.
He did? The nerve.
He might have even used the word love.
I'll kill him. Where is he?
That way.
What is it, Mr. Spectre?
This was just delivered.
If you fail to heed this warning, it will be the end of Catherine Donovan.
What? Seamus, give me that.
What is it, Ma?
Catherine has been kidnapped.
Where did you find this, Mr. Spectre?
There was a knock on the door. When I answered, nobody was there, but the note was lying on the front step.
Abby, you take the girls and pack your things. I'm gonna go find Danny.
All right, Seamus, hurry.
Mrs. Spectre, or Miss Donovan, if there's anything I can do.
Thank you, Mr. Spectre, but there isn't anything.
Could you find Asa Mercer for me, please? He's the mayor. I think he should know about this.
Of course.
Oh dear. Please, girls, pack your things quickly.
Wait a minute.
What is it, Brittany?
This note is written on Catherine's journal paper. See the little flowers in the corner? Look, it was torn out right here.
Wait, maybe Catherine was writing in her journal, and then the kidnappers kidnapped her.
And the kidnappers took the time to write the note before hauling her away? I don't think so, Elena.
What does this mean?
That means whoever wrote the note wrote it right here in the inn.
One of our guests?
That depends. Who's been here today?
Patrick. Oh, wait, no. Patrick would never do that. He's scared to death of her.
The Spectre girls and Agatha have been in their rooms all day.
Have you seen him talking with anyone else in town?
Wait, could it be?
Darian Spectre?
But why?
That's what we have to find out.
We just heard about Catherine. You must be terrified. Maybe you'd like to tell us what happened to Catherine.
That's ridiculous. What would I know about it?
Good question. All you girls have been pretty hush-hush since you arrived here last week.
Maybe we need to employ Catherine's method to get the truth out of this one.
Ow, stop!
Not until you spill it.
We just came here to open a saloon, you know? Lots of booze and women in skimpy dresses, and they figured before too long every man in Seattle would be spending his money there.
A saloon? You told us it was a social club.
You said we just have to talk to fellas and dance with them once in a while. You never said anything about serving drinks.
Or wearing skimpy dresses.
What happened to Catherine?
I don't know.
Where's Catherine now?
I really don't know. It was all Darian's idea. He was afraid you Donovan girls will pull too much business away from the saloon, so he decided to get rid of you. I had nothing to do with it. In fact, I had nothing to do with it at all.
Sorry, I couldn't find Asa.
Run, Darian, run!
He's gone. And he took Danny's horse.
Hey, what's going on? I thought the other one was the mean one.
That's a long story, Patrick. I'll tell you later.
For now, Patrick, you and Elena take Agatha out and tie her up.
Oh, boy.
I hope you believe we had nothing to do with the kidnapping of your sister.
Of course we do.
How can we help?
We've got to find out where Darian is keeping Catherine.
He must certainly have had some help. Have you seen him talking with anyone else in town?
Just as we feel as he hired to build a social club. I mean, saloon.
Where do they live?
I heard Darian tell Agatha that they're camping out behind the building for now.
Yes, but he also said that they have a cabin in the woods nearby.
That's right. He said they were imbeciles because it's under a cliff and it's buried in snow from an avalanche most of the time.
Thanks for your help. Now, would you mind telling Ma what's happened? I'm sure she's worried sick.
Of course. Let's go.
Let me see the note.
Never mind that. We know where Catherine is.
You do? Where?
You know those 3 loggers that were helping Darian build his saloon?
Saloon?
We'll explain later, Dad. Danny, do you know where they live?
Yeah, right under Simon's Bluff. Not a very safe place to be in the winter.
She's there.
I'll bring her back to you, Seamus.
Danny, one more thing. Darian Spector's the kidnapper.
And he took your horse.
Then I'll have to walk. But he'll not harm a hair on her head, or I'm not Danny O'Brien, Federal Marshal.
Try to get there before she kills the man.
Let's go.
Please, lady, we didn't mean no harm.
Yeah, we were just helping your fiance surprise you for your birthday.
If you let us go, we promise we'll take you back into town.
Listen, you imbeciles. My birthday's in December, not March, and I don't have a fiance.
Well, you did say they had lots of preparations to make.
Who said?
Your fiance.
Who is my fiance?
You don't know?
I've heard of surprise birthday parties before, but never surprise weddings.
Don't you get it? This is a kidnapping. You've been set up.
Hear that, fellas? We've been kidnapped.
I knew it.
But why would Mr. Spector want to kidnap us?
So, Darian Spector's behind this. I should have known.
Well, if you know what's good for you, you'll let us go before Danny gets here.
Danny?
Yeah, he's the law in these parts. He'll rescue us.
He's not gonna rescue you. He's gonna rescue me.
Lady, who's the ones tied up here? You or us?
Oh, I suppose you're harmless.
Oh, stop, please. No. I'm sorry, it's not your birthday. Oh, thanks.
Here, just cut your friends loose, and I'm gonna head over to wherever to freshen up, and we can head back into town, and I'll explain everything to the law.
Fellas, I don't know about you, but I don't want to spend any more time with that woman than I have to.
I'm with you, Mo.
Let's go.
I can guarantee you there hasn't been one scene in this play that's been exactly scripted, right? So it's okay. Go.
Where are those morons?
Okay, I'm ready to head back into town.
I don't think so, Miss Donovan. What's happened to my accomplices?
No doubt they're on their way back to Seattle to spill the beans about your little plan. It's all over, Darian.
Not all over. I still have you to bargain with. I'll simply exchange you for the Spectre girls, and we'll head further north. I think your father, of course, I think your father owes me a little bit of compensation for my loss on the saloon. I think your hair should suffice.
Release her, you scoundrel.
So, the fearless lawman finally arrives. You've ruined everything. I'll kill you both, just for spite.
Danny, use your gun.
No, we can't shoot him.
Yes, we can. He tried to cut my hair. Now give me that gun if you won't do it.
No.
You won't get away that easy, Darian.
Get down. earthquake. Any loud noise this time of the year will usually set one off.
Why didn't you tell me?
I tried. I said not to shoot.
I thought you were just being law-abiding.
Well, it looks like we're going to be here a while. Anyways, there's plenty of hardtack and some animal skins to wrap up in. We should be all right.
How long are we gonna be here?
A few days.
A few days? I'm not staying here for one more minute.
And how do you propose to get out?
You'll dig?
There's no telling how deep it is out there. And if we open the door, the whole place could collapse. You might as well just get used to it. Nothing like a little hardtack when your stomach's a grumbling.
Well, maybe I could try just a little. I am kind of hungry.
No, this is not good enough for you. You deserve a nice roast beef, dripping with succulent juices, crispy greens, fresh baked potatoes, juicy fruit. Why? This hardtack is barely fit for a ruffian like me. I might as well just put the rest back in the bag and use it as a pillow. I'm feeling pretty spent. Yeah, you should sleep too.
I'm not sleepy just now. Maybe if I just keep moving.
What is it?
Maybe I could share that animal skin with you. It doesn't look so bad.
Why, Katie, I wouldn't hear of you wrapping yourself up in this smelly old thing. You deserve silk and satin around you, nothing else.
I'm not such a fine lady, Danny. I'm just a cold and hungry girl, and I'd be very obliged if you'd share your animal skins and your hardtack with me.
But it's a beautiful day, and you are not hungry.
It is not a beautiful day. It's freezing, and I haven't eaten since yesterday.
I say it's quite warm, and you are not hungry.
All right, whatever you say. It's a beautiful day, and I'm quite satisfied if that's the way you want it.
It's freezing, and you're famished.
If that's the way you want it.
Come. I'll look after you now.
Maybe you could share this animal skin with me. It's big enough for the both of us.
Too bad Danny couldn't be here to witness such a historical event.
Yes, he worked so hard to help bring it about.
I just hope they're okay.
Don't worry. Danny knows how to survive under adverse conditions.
You don't know adverse until you've spent a few days locked up with Catherine.
Anyways, the men should have him dug out soon.
Patrick, where is that lad? I told him to chop wood hours ago.
Elena! Where's she got off to now? Her chores are barely half done, and it's time to start the ceremony.
Seamus, I hate to rush things, but we need to get underway.
I'll call the other girls. Elsa, Claire, Julia, the ceremony is about to begin.
Look what the digging crew found this morning.
Is he alive?
Oh, yeah. We managed to make it into an outhouse before the avalanche hit.
Oh no! This doesn't mean we have to honor those awful contracts?
I told you girls, you're free of Darian and his sister.
By the time that awful man gets out of jail, I suspect you lovely young ladies will be married with dozens of children. Just wish I could say the same for my own girls.
Now, Abby.
Speak for myself, I'll be willing to marry whichever one of you would be willing to have me.
Gentlemen, why don't you take Mr. Spector to the jailhouse and lock him up, and then you can come back and get to know these young ladies properly.
If you don't mind, there's nothing I like more than to try to keep myself after Darian started the slammer.
Sure, you can all come if you want.
You'll all regret this. I could have put this town on the map. Now this small mining community will never amount to anything.
That's where you're wrong, Darian. Someday Washington will become a state and Seattle will become one of its most prosperous cities. I'll see to it, personally.
How do you plan to do that, Asa?
Dairy Inspector is a greedy, self-serving man, but his idea to bring women back from the east was a good one.
But there are women here now.
Yes, some wonderful women. But if we're gonna grow, we're gonna need more. So I'm gonna go back east and bring some back.
Asa?
But not without you, Brittany. Not after I make you my wife.
Asa, I just don't know if that is ever going to happen.
We all entering? Ah, Skulking Fox and Lily Blossom. Please, come over here. Running Bear, Morning Dove, will you please stand behind and be witness for your people? Dearly beloved, we gather here today under the sight of God and man to bring peace, to bring these two into union and to bring peace between their tribes and the people of the Washington Territory.
Stop. I'm sorry, my brother. I know this is my duty, but I cannot marry this one who disgusts me so.
That is well with me. I am too, sorry, my sister. This is too great of a sacrifice for me to make.
Running Bear, Morning Dove, you must speak to them. For the sake of our people and yours, this union must take place.
I'm sorry, Asa, but once my sister makes up her mind, there is no changing it.
It is the same thing, my brother. He's sunburned ox.
Then what do we do?
It seems, Morning Dove, that this marriage union has fallen upon us. Will you marry me?
Yes! Woo!
Great, then we have a wedding after all.
Well, we already had one.
How could you do this to me, daughter?
Well, Patrick and I got married at 10 o'clock this morning. Now you guys can all get married because the tradition's already broken.
Oh, yeah!
I work hard, sir, to make the Donovan Fishing Company prosper. I've always wanted to go to Ireland.
My littlest daughter, you're too young to be married. But in truth, you're a year older than I was myself. Let's all celebrate.
How could you people do this to me? How do you expect to live a long and prosperous life if you have no respect for tradition?
Catherine, what's happened?
I agree, Seamus. Tradition should be kept. And it is tradition in America to carry a new bride across the threshold, newly married.
Bride?
We were married this morning.
What time?
Around 9 a.m.
Oh, praise be. The tradition has not been broken.
But, Seamus, I will not move to Ireland with you because I love this country and I want to see Washington become a state.
That's all right, me boy. I am the other son-in-law to take back to Ireland. You and Katie can stay here and run the inn.
Danny, I can't believe it. You actually managed to tame her.
Yeah.
I think it actually worked.
Well, after the second day, she was putty in my hands.
Asa, we need to start the ceremony. We're being rude to Morning Dove and Running Bear.
Darling, please, let me decide when it is time to start the ceremony.
Asa, I was only suggesting.
Would Catherine speak this way to her husband, Danny?
No. Catherine, go show your sister how to behave.
Sister dear, it is never proper to yell at your husband. If you must disagree, it is always better to use force.
Okay. Back to the cabin with you.